Oh, hey there. So, you guys are probably wondering, why am I showing you guys this part at the beginning of a new video of how to calculate your macros? Reason being is, as I was editing, I realized that I never actually explained what If It Fits Your Macros is. Before the video starts, I will explain to you guys what it is. If It Fits Your Macros is, in other words, it's flexible dieting. It's a form of dieting where you calculate how many carbohydrates, how many protein, and how many fat you have in your diet. It's like a bank. And you can kind of use that in however shape or form you want to use them. So, let's say for my body weight, I have 180 grams of protein, 300 grams of carbs, and 60 grams of fat. I can use that any way that I want to, like money. You know, when you go to the bank, you ask for money, you get it, and you're like, I'm gonna use it however I want. Same way, same principle with If It Fits Your Macros. You can use it literally by eating butter, chicken, and Pop-Tarts. But we don't want to do that. You want to use this for the good. You want to fill it in with micronutrients. You want to fill it with broccoli, brown rice, chicken, bananas, whey protein, hummus. Great ways to fill in your macronutrients, so that way you're not stuck on a meal plan. So If It Fits Your Macros, it's a great way to be able to live on the road if you're on the go and you need to have your food in some way, shape, or form, and you don't have to, I don't know, like just live by a meal plan. So If It Fits Your Macros, once you calculate it all, you can figure out how you want to fill in your calories for the day. So it's like counting calories, but more specific. By breaking it down to those 3 subgroups, it allows you to fill it in any way. And the way that you do it is use MyFitnessPal, you scan your foods, it'll tell you on the back of the nutrition label. In the previous video, I tell you how to read a nutrition label and how to find the macronutrients. You scan that and add it onto your MyFitnessPal. I'll actually show you. There we go. So you see the amount of fat, the carbs, and the protein I have. It calculates it all for you, and you can use your camera to scan all the products. This is a super nifty app. If you don't have it, highly recommend it. Well, I apologize for the mishap. Focus. Yeah, I apologize for the mishap. Back to the scheduled video. You guys are going to learn how to calculate your macros, and hopefully this is helpful for you. What is going on, YouTube? Thank you all so much for coming back to Marvin Alexis Fitness. This is Marvin, and this is part 2 of the macro series. So if you haven't watched part 1, I'd highly recommend you watch it. So part 1, we went over what are macronutrients. So I went over your total carbs, your total fats, and your total proteins, but now we're going to cover how to calculate your macros and what works best for you. So grab a pen and paper and pencil, and write these things down because I'm about to give you all the keys. So to first begin with, your body weight. Step on a scale, figure out what your body weight is. You're gonna multiply it by one of these 3 numbers, 14, 15, and 16. If you multiply your weight by 15, that is going to get you your maintenance calories. So for example, for me, I weigh 180 pounds and my activity level is 15, so that's moderately active. That comes out to 2,700. Now, if I were incredibly active, if I was doing high intensity cardio every single day, I was a performance athlete, I would probably multiply it by 16. Now, if you were a little bit more sedentary, you don't work out that much, I would probably multiply it by 14. Now, once you get your total calories, 2,700, the amount of protein, we're gonna start off with protein. You're gonna start by multiplying your weight by 1. So 180 grams of protein for my body weight. Now, you can multiply your body weight by either 0.8 up to 1.2. 0.8 is if you're cutting your weight. 1.2 is if you're starting to bulk. So again, 1 is maintenance, 0.8 is probably the lower end, and then 1.2 is if you're bulking. And you can even go a little bit above depending on your body weight, how your body consumes protein, and how it works best for you. Now we're next gonna go to your fat. You're gonna multiply your weight by 0.25, that's on the lower end of the spectrum of grams of body weight for fat, up to 0.35. Depending on your goals, 0.25 is probably when you're on the lower end, when you're really starting to get down to your lower amounts of weight, when you're really trying to cut, getting ready for the summer, getting shredded. 0.35, 0.3 is usually a good maintenance weight. If you're trying to bulk, I could even see people going up to 0.4, 0.45, but I personally taking about 60 grams of fat. Now the rest, so once you subtract the amount of grams of protein, the amount of grams of fat from your total amount of calories, so you multiply all that. I gave you the equation, the last one, so you take the amount of grams of fat, multiply that by 9, you get the calories. You multiply your grams of protein by 4, you get your calories. Subtract all of that and you're left with your base carbs. From there, you divide that by 4 and you get the total amount of carbs in your diet. Now, you can manipulate the numbers. So if you want a higher amount of fat, you're probably gonna have a lower amount of carbs. So if you're doing a ketogenic diet, you can have a very high amount of fat, so over 100 grams of fat, but you'll be low carbs. That's a ketogenic diet. Now, once you have your base calories, right, your 2,700 for my 180 pounds, if you're looking to lose weight, you subtract 500 calories. So from 2,700, you drop it down to 2,200. And with the equations that I've given you, they're gonna be in the description box down below. You do it all over again. So instead of 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, I would probably do 0.85 and do the whole system all over again. But I would caution you, don't go for the bare minimum, so don't do the 0.8, the 0.25 for fat to lose weight, because that's unhealthy. You want to start at your maintenance calories and cut down. It's incredibly important to do that, because if you're starving yourself with 1,200 calories, that's your base calories, and then you're cutting down to 700 calories a day, that's incredibly unhealthy, and it's awful for your metabolism. So I hope this video was helpful in helping you find out roughly around what your macronutrients are for if it fits your macros, also known as flexible dieting. But I would also recommend talking to a coach, having someone being under someone's wing for the first time that you do this, because they're going to be able to guide you throughout this process. Thank you all so much for watching. Please comment, share, like, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter at MarvinAlexis27. This is Marvin, and I'm out.